They tried everything, and it still wasn't enough. 81 kilometers from the finish, Tadej Pogačar attacks alone on gravel, and the strongest peloton in the world just watched. No chase organized. No answer came. This is not dominance, this is control. And the reason nobody can stop it right now starts with a number that should not be possible. Tadej Pogačar rises out of the saddle on Monte Sante Marie, legs spinning, dust swirling, and in a single surge, the entire front group is behind him. No one goes with him, not a single wheel. For a moment, it looks like a bluff. The peloton waits, eyes darting, radios crackling. Then everything collapses. The world champion is alone, rolling at over 40 kilometers per hour on loose white gravel, pushing into the wind, opening daylight with every pedal stroke. Monte Sante Marie isn't just another climb. It's 11.5 kilometers of loose limestone and sharp ramps, gradients tipping past 7%. The rolling resistance nearly doubles compared to tarmac. On this surface, every watt counts. Pogačar's initial acceleration hits 460 watts, numbers that break the script for a move this early. The group behind is stacked with powerhouses, but they are stuck in a standoff, watching the seconds tick away as the gap grows. For the next 5 kilometers, he holds 380 watts, speed steady at 39 to 40 kilometers per hour, while the peloton can't muster more than 38. The time gap stretches. The chase never materializes. And what happened next made no sense. The peloton, the strongest in the world, simply lets him go. This isn't just dominance. This is control. The metric behind it, one that should not be possible, still has not been explained. Numbers tell the story no peloton wants to hear. Tadej Pogačar's power meter does not just measure effort, it measures separation. When he launches, the numbers are brutal. 460 watts in the first 5 minutes of his Strade Bianche attack, holding 380 watts solo for over an hour. On a 69 kilogram frame, that is over 5.5 watts per kilo, territory where only the best climbers survive, and almost no one attacks from the front. The peloton behind, packed with world champions and classics specialists, cannot even match 38 kilometers per hour while he is driving 40 on loose gravel. This is not a subtle difference. It is a gulf. Each extra watt translates directly into speed. And on Monte Sante Marie, that meant a time gap that grew by the second. The math is simple, but the effect is devastating. Every kilometer, Pogačar is gaining 4, sometimes 5 seconds on the world's best. It is not just about raw power either. Watts per kilo is the term that rules modern cycling, a measure of how much force a rider can produce for every kilogram of body weight. On steep ramps and rough surfaces, this number decides who stays and who disappears. Rivals like Jonas Vingegaard, Mathieu van der Poel, and Wout van Aert all have world-class numbers of their own. But when the race is on the line, Pogačar's sustained output is not just higher, it is unanswerable. The gap is not talent, it is total control of the race's physics. When a single rider can turn 380 watts into a solo procession and 460 watts into a knockout punch, the entire script of elite cycling gets rewritten. This is not dominance, this is control. And the next question becomes, if you cannot match the numbers, can you outthink him? The answer so far has always been no. In the lead-up to Pogačar's attack on Monte Sante Marie, the team's domestiques set a relentless tempo, holding the peloton at a steady 42 kilometers per hour across the gravel. Each rider takes a turn, burning matches to keep the pace high, squeezing out any hope of rival attacks. Their job is simple: control the speed, keep Pogačar sheltered, and make sure no one else can breathe. For a moment, it looks like overkill, but this is the blueprint. As the gradient kicks up, the team's control shifts from brute force to precision. Pogačar drifts to the front, eyes locked on the narrowest, firmest strip of gravel, a line just 70 centimeters wide, hugging the inside edge where the limestone is packed tight. It is a micro skill that most riders overlook. On this surface, even a few centimeters offline means wasted watts and lost traction. Pogačar's wheels never slip. His cadence stays high, and every pedal stroke turns into forward motion. Over the 2.1-kilometer climb, his line choice alone saves nearly 5 seconds compared to the chasers behind, who skid and fight the loose dust. The gap isn't just about power, it's about turning tiny technical advantages into real time. While the peloton shuffles and hesitates, Pogačar and his team convert every detail, pacing, position, even tire pressure, into speed. The domestiques drop off, spent, but the damage is done. The chase group is left scattered, forced to ride at sub-optimal lines and speeds. For the rivals, it is a tactical dead end. For Pogačar, it is the opening he needs. Control, not chaos. Every second matters, and every move is calculated. This isn't just a solo attack, it is a team operation that turns the impossible into routine. Drafting is not just a peloton trick, it is a physics cheat code. When Tadej Pogačar tucks in behind his teammates, he slices up to 30% off his energy bill, saving power for the exact moment he needs to explode. That is why the front of the group is a fortress. Every second spent in the draft is a second banked for later. But Pogačar does not just ride the slipstream, he weaponizes it. He knows exactly when to step out of the shield and face the wind alone, turning a hidden reserve into a solo attack that rivals cannot match. Aerodynamics rule every move. At 40 kilometers per hour, the air feels thick, and every square centimeter of exposed body adds drag. Pogačar's position is textbook: elbows tucked, head down, back flat, chin inches from the bars. His frontal area drops to around 0.25 square meters, tiny for a rider of his build. The math is brutal. Even a small reduction in drag means he can hold higher speeds with less effort. On gravel, where the draft is less effective and the surface eats watts, his efficiency becomes a time machine. While others lose speed to rolling resistance, he keeps the throttle open. But the real secret is not just how hard he goes, it is how fast he recovers. Heart rate variability, HRV, is the silent metric that coaches watch. For Pogačar, post-effort HRV is estimated to be 20% higher than the World Tour average, a sign his body resets faster between efforts. He can launch a 460-watt attack, then settle back to 200 watts and clear lactate in less than a minute. Most rivals need twice as long. That is why the classic counterattack never comes. By the time the peloton is ready to chase, he has already built a new gap. Physics say a solo rider should fade. Pogačar rewrites the law. Drafting, aerodynamics, metabolic reset, these are not just buzzwords. They are the reason his attacks stick, the reason the numbers do not lie, and the reason the rest of the peloton is left gasping in his wake. This is not dominance. This is control. Tadej Pogačar has circled it in red. The course is a test of everything, nearly 300 kilometers of relentless tension, and a finale that strips away all tactics except raw nerve. The real crucible is the Poggio. It is just 3.7 kilometers long, and it starts at a gentle 3.7%, but it ramps to 8% in the final bends. It is not the steepest climb in cycling, but after 6 hours of racing, it becomes a launch pad for the bold and a graveyard for the cautious. From the crest, the descent is a technical freefall, with hairpins, blind corners, and a finish that rewards those willing to risk everything. Pogačar is not just targeting the win, he is aiming to bend the race to his will, where every watt, every second, and every decision matters. The peloton knows what's coming, but on this battlefield, knowing is never enough. Every data point, every split-screen comparison, every desperate chase tells the same story. Rivals like Vingegaard, Van der Poel, and Van Aert can match Pogačar on their best days, but only in fragments, never for the full distance, never when it counts most. The peloton knows the numbers, studies the tactics, and brings their strongest teams, yet the outcome keeps repeating. Power, recovery, team support, tactical timing. Pogačar holds each card and plays them all at once. The margin isn't just in the legs, it's in the mind and in the moment. For now, the answer is clear. No one can stop Tadej Pogačar. Not today, not on these roads, not with the current playbook. The question isn't who will challenge him next, but whether anyone can even get close enough to try. Right now, every rival studies Pogačar's numbers and finds no obvious weakness. As the world's fastest legs meet the sharpest mind, cycling's limits are being rewritten in real time. The question is not how he wins, but who dares to disrupt his control. The chase is on.